Got everybody. That's it. So.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I think we can just about start. We got 1 minute. I see Karen is on and Michael is on. We are ready. Well, good morning and welcome to our Certification Lab Part 1. My name is Andrea Boyd. I am a business advisor here at the Minority Business Assistance Center at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. I am joined this morning by my colleagues, Business Advisor Richard Brown and our Program Coordinator, April Needham. At this certification lab, our presenters from the state of Ohio and PTAC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, will provide an overview and include introductory steps and tips to ensure you go through the certification process successfully. So what is MBAC? Just in case anyone does not know what the Minority Business Assistance Center is, the MBAC office, we identify emerging minority-owned businesses and we cultivate their growth and sustainability. So our overarching goal here is to help minority and disadvantaged businesses contribute to job creation in Ohio. And how do we do this? We do this by focusing in 4 key areas of growth we like to call our 4 pillars. The first being through certifications, so we can assist you in getting certified with the state of Ohio. We want to ensure that your business has the necessary certifications to bid on those private as well as public contract opportunities. Our second pillar, which is contracts and procurement. So our job is to connect you with contract opportunities to grow your business. We have resources and connections with organizations such as Metro Health, Crest Western Reserve, Cleveland Clinic, as well as PTAC, who's on this call today. We also have our pillar 3, which is access to capital through bonding and loans. So we have a number of lending partners that we work directly with to ensure that you have access to the needed capital to grow or scale your business. We also have a UBIZ loan fund with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland under our Entrepreneurship Center. And this has great turnout there. No one can be turned down for this loan fund. You either go directly into underwriting or we will work to get you loan ready. So we do not turn anyone away. We actually work with you to get you that loan that you need for your business. And then our last pillar, which is technical and professional assistance. So we are made up of a team of over years of banking and entrepreneurial experience. We want to support you as your experienced business advisors and certification experts. So we want to be your guiding hand to make sure you have everything you need to be successful within your market or industry. We can help you with accounting, assistance, business plan development, and capability statements if you need those. So please give us a call if you need any assistance. Additionally, at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, we have a small business development center that focuses on startup businesses that are in the ideation phase, as well as businesses looking to grow and develop, give growth and development assistance. So our Entrepreneurship Center offers many programs such as Becoming Bankable, our Restaurant Accelerator program, and also Make Me Marketable with SBDC, our Small Business Development Center. So combined, our Entrepreneurship Center has years of business and banking experience. We just want to enhance your entrepreneurship journey with this experience. So please contact us today. Our contact information can be found in the chat. Now, at this time, I would like to hand it back to our program coordinator, April Needham. April, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Andrea. Good morning again, everyone. My name is April Needham, and I am the Program and Marketing Coordinator here at the Minority Business Assistance Center. I will put our email address in the chat box. Please feel free to use that to contact us to make an appointment with a business advisor and to talk about any of the services that Andrea just mentioned. I want to go over just a couple quick things before we get started. If you could please make sure that your microphone is on mute. When other people are talking, that would be greatly appreciated. And we are going to use our chat box option to talk to each other and to ask and answer questions throughout our workshop today. And we will take breaks during the presentations to answer any questions that you may have. Do I have any questions from anyone before we get started? Wonderful. Then I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter for today, Michael Lester. He's from the state of Ohio. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Good morning. As April said, my name is Michael Lesser. I work with the State of Ohio's Equal Opportunity Division. I am a EEO contract officer, so I process I process my majority of MBE Edge, WBE applications as they come through, process those applications and approve them or deny for certification. I'll do a quick overview of the programs that we have in place, how to access those programs, how to apply, and then give you a quick information about, how you can use our systems that we have in place on our websites to help you, find jobs or maybe find opportunities that may be out there for you currently. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Are we able to see that? Perfect. So the first program I'm going to mention that we have is our VBE program. The program is for all procurement categories, and the program also establishes the overall preference to spend with VBE certified businesses, which is different than our other programs. So responding to an invitation to bid or ITB, a VBE certified business can quote up to 5% more than a non-certified or competitor and still be eligible to win the award. Or on a request for proposal, scores for proposals submitted by VBE certified businesses can be up to 5% lower than proposal scores submitted by a non-certified competitor and still be eligible for winning the award. Some eligibility for the VBE program. Please note that you only have to meet one of these criteria in order to be eligible for our VBE. Obviously, if the owner of the business is a veteran or a person that's on active service, that business will qualify. If the 51% of the board of directors are veterans or on active service, that business will qualify. If the business has already received certification by the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs as a service-disabled veteran-owned small business or veteran-owned small business and owner meets the definition of veteran, we recognize that certification. And lastly, if 10% of the business employees are veterans or on active service, it could qualify as well. Our next certification is our MBE program. The MBE program establishes a 15% set-aside goal for state agencies, boards, and commissions. Set-aside means that these contracts and purchases must be solicited and awarded in a sheltered market. And what that means is that only MBE certified businesses can bid on that contract, and you won't be bidding against any other larger companies in the state of Ohio. The MBE program is an ethnicity or race-based program. It's also for goods and services only. Mind you, goods and services can include IT and professional services. However, something that it does not include is construction. And here's a few eligibility bases for the MBE program. Specifically for MBE, as it stated, it's an ethnicity or race-based program. So you will need to be African American, American Indian, Asian, or Latino in order to qualify for that MBE certification. Our next program we'll go over is our EDGE program. And EDGE is designed to be an ethnicity and gender neutral, and is to assist socially and economically disadvantaged businesses get contracting at the state level. Some main differences between the MBE and EDGE is, as I mentioned, the EDGE is for socially and economically disadvantaged businesses. And also the program is for agencies, boards, and commissions of states and universities. The goal for EDGE gets set each year by the director of DAS. And traditionally, it has been 5%. While that 5% goal sounds a little less than what the MBE is at 15%, that 5% is a much larger pie or much larger set of money they have set aside for that EDGE program. So that 5% is still a lot of money. And EDGE applies to more than just goods and services. EDGE applies to construction, architecture and engineering, professional services, goods and services, information and technology services. And that's all combined into that 5% that they set aside for the EDGE as well. And here's some just general information for the EDGE eligibility. As you stated, it is a socially and economically disadvantaged. You have to be both. Socially disadvantaged can be because of the owner's ethnicity, female gender, chronic or physical or mental disability, or business owner's long-term residency in a hub zone location. If you do a hub zone location as your basis for certification, you must recognize that at least 35% of your business's workforce, your employees, must also be residing in a hub zone as well. They don't have to reside in the same hub zone as a business, but in another hub zone. An economically disadvantage is based primarily on the owner's personal net worth. Following the SBA guidelines, we do exclude primary residents if not owned outright and any interest in the business applying for certification. Upon entry and during the duration of the certification, a person's net worth cannot exceed $750,000. However, as I mentioned, we also use the SBA size standards, and those are based on NAICS codes and can be based on either gross receipts or number of employees a business holds. And lastly, a fair market value of all assets must be less than $4 million in order to qualify for the EDGE certification. Our next program we have is our WBE program. The WBE program took into effect October 9th, 2020. And this is the first certification program the state of Ohio has that's just for women. The first key difference in this program is that currently the program does not have any established procurement goals or set aside goals that's attached to the WBE program. We're currently working on reciprocity agreements with surrounding states in order to allow women who are certified in Ohio to be able to take that certification and apply in other states and begin to bid on jobs that are out in other states as well. But we're still working on those reciprocity agreements, so stay in touch with your MBACs in our office in order to get updates on when those reciprocity agreements have been completed, and you guys can use women can take that certification to other states and make that beneficial. And then WBE eligibility. For the WBE, the business must be owned and controlled by a woman. Again, a full-time Ohio resident, with the exception of those who apply with the approved reciprocity agreements. As we stated, there are none right now, but that's something we're looking forward to in the future. Then just some general program eligibilities for the MBE EDGE and WBE programs. For all of those, you must be a full-time resident of the state of Ohio. Your business must be a for-profit business and business at least 1 year. And we do truly mean in business, not just registered with the Secretary of State. We do understand that you might not have generated revenue yet, but you must be able to document how you have been in business. And again, this is where your MBAC is a great resource to help document that. You must possess all requisite knowledge of the business and industry and day-to-day control, demonstrating capability and expertise of the company. This is another key component for us. We're not looking to certify businesses who have minority or women owners on paper, but in actuality do not control the business. That defeats the purpose of the program. So you need to demonstrate how you both own and control the business. And lastly, here's a list of just general documents that will apply for all the certifications you apply for through us. And again, the MBACs are a very helpful source in compiling these documents, documenting what documents you may not have and listing out those documents you don't have. So it's not a constant back and forth between our office and the owner of the business trying to collect documents. So work with your MBACs to collect documents. They're very helpful to help through that process. Okay, and then we're going to switch over and I'm going to give you some information about where to find our applications, how to apply for our certification as well. So firstly, all our applications are hosted on the Ohio Business Gateway website. And basically what the Ohio Business Gateway is, a lot of state agencies have host applications on the Business Gateway. So it's a portal that allows people who want to do business with the state of Ohio to log in and find access to a lot of forms that they'll likely need in order to do business in Ohio and continually do business in the state of Ohio. The Business Gateway, as I stated, for just about anybody who wants to do business in Ohio and who has to comply or complete certifications or compliance forms on the website. That's what the Business Gateway is for. And where is the Business Gateway located? Here's a couple of URLs that you can get to the gateway from: gateway.ohio.gov, business.ohio.gov. And if you're going through our website, the das.ohio.gov/EOD, if you're just looking for general information about our programs, you'll see a lot of links to get to the Business Gateway to show you steps of how to apply for certifications as well. Now, as I said, we do host many applications on the Gateway. We have about 7, I believe, on our end, just for the Equal Opportunity Division. The one we're probably going to be worried about today is a unified application. That's the application you want to do the MBE and EDGE certification for. So if you're familiar with the Business Gateway, if you haven't been on here before, the general login box is just like this when you get to the web page. If you've never been on the Gateway before, you just want to click that Never Use the Gateway, create an account. and it'll take you through steps of creating an account. You need your tax ID or social security number in order to create the account for the business. I'll ask you for just general business information and take you through the steps of setting up a brand new account on the gateway. If it's been a while since you've been on here, you had an account in the past and just haven't messed with it in a while, the forgot username and password option is here. And they're pretty helpful. If you can't do those steps, if you call the help desk, they're pretty helpful in getting you to get your password reset so you can get logged on and begin finding an application from that way. And once you're able to log on the business gateway, this is how the gateway should look for you. It should say My Business Dashboard at the top. List your business name here where it says Equal Opportunity Division. You should see your business name there. And it should list a host of applications that you may have access to on your business gateway page. And a few things to note once you get on the gateway page, the request business access is a link over here. It allows you to request access to multiple businesses. So if you're an owner and you have multiple businesses, you only need one login on the Ohio Business Gateway to access multiple businesses. Or if you're a CPA and you file forms for multiple businesses, you can log on and have access to all the businesses you help, and you can complete all those applications or help them file forms all from one logon as well. Just to the left of this house right here is a silhouette of a person, which is the administration button. And here in this administration button, you have the ability to edit your information. So if your address changed for your business, any general information like that changes, you can edit that in that administration tab. And then the padlock here is it's security settings. You have the ability here to you have the ability to add and remove users, improve access for other people who want to come on your business page and complete forms. If you have a new employee or new maybe accountant who's doing work for you, you can give them the permission to come on here and complete applications on your behalf as well. And then we'll take you through the steps of how to add applications really quick. Adding applications could be a little difficult because there's a lot of steps, a lot of moving parts to add them. So we'll just take you through a quick step of adding the unified application. The first thing you want to do once you're logged in, you're going to need to have this padlock here in this top right corner. If you don't see this padlock here, you won't be able to add the application. You'll probably more than likely have to call into our office to ask for some assistance. Once you click that padlock, it should take you to a page that looks like this. It gives you the ability to have service areas. And in the service areas, you should see a list of all the agencies who have applications hosted on this website. And of course, ours is the Equal Opportunity Division. Anything that you want to have access to needs to be on this right side under authorized service areas. So on this left side, you have a little plus sign. You can click on that and it'll move it over. If you accidentally add something you don't want, you click the minus sign and move it back over to the available area. Excuse me. The next step is the transaction types button up there at the top in that gray bar. And the transaction types is similar to the service areas. In the sense, it gives you available transaction types and authorized transaction types. Anything that you want to have access to needs to be listed under this authorized transaction types button. And like for the sake of this one was the equal opportunity or the unified application. So you want that unified application to be listed under that authorized transaction types. Once you do that, you'll go at the top here under this use authorization. And this use authorization, it'll give you a permission template in which you want to toggle all 5 of those on. Hit that copy permissions and then hit save, and it should give you access to that application you just added. Once you do so, you'll get a drop down and give you a green menu that says there's changes have been successful. And from there, you click on the home icon and it should take you back to that home page. And in that home page, you should have the ability to see that application, click on it, and begin to complete the unified application. Going through the application, I know there's there's some few errors, I wouldn't say errors, there's a few points that I think a lot of people have trouble with in the application that aren't very clearly stated. The first one here is step 5 of 14. When you complete the application, it's a list of owner information. Right under owner number 1, and any owner you may add. So if you have multiple owners, each owner will have these 2 hyperlinks under them. There's owner's assets and liabilities and owner's properties. And if you don't enter information into one of these bubbles, it won't let you go to the next page. So you have to click each hyperlink, the owner's assets and liabilities, and begin to fill out the net worth statement. That net worth statement is only if you apply for EDGE certification. If you're applying for MBE, this assets and liabilities, owner's properties won't pop up because there's no net worth attached to the MBE certification. So like I said, as long as you're doing EDGE, you have to fill out both of these hyperlinks there. in order to go to the next page, and you have to do each of them for each owner you have for the business as well. Our next common area we get to is the independent decision-making functions. I believe independent decision-making functions is a step, let me go back and see, 9 of 14. So page 9 of 14, you'll get to a page that says independent decision-making functions, and it will list, I believe it's a total of 18 of them. And it's for a person who's just a single member LLC, if you're doing all the work for your business, it's just you. This page here is going to be you just listing your name over and over again. It gives you tasks. It says negotiates and execute contracts. Who does the task and who does that person report to? So if it's just you, it's going to be you doing that task and you reporting to yourself. So this page is really going to be you writing your name over and over again. If you have a larger business or have employees that do tasks for you and then they report to you, you'll list that as such. But there's 2 pages of this. The first page is just 1 of 10. And a lot of people get tripped up with doing that 1 of 10 and want to go to the next page of the application. But what you want to do is hit this small next here, and it takes you to page 2 of 2. And that 2 of 2 gives you the steps 11 through 18 of the independent decision-making functions and allows you to complete those. And the last common area we come to is the business gross receipts. There's a month year ending. It's asking for each year they want you to report. They begin asking for 3 years of gross receipts. If you don't have 3 years of gross receipts, that's perfectly fine. You can enter just 1 year. If you just had the past year, if you had 2, you can enter that, and you just hit the delete button to remove any field you don't need. But the month year ending is simply just a month and year. If you do a complete year, your year ending may be December of 2019 or December 2018, whatever the most recent year that you want to report. If you do fiscal years, the day will be different, but you just need the month/year, no day involved in that. Gross receipts for that year and the number of employees the business held. That's just some general quick information on how to get through the applications. Here's just some how to contact us as well if you want to, or say if you need to reach out for any assistance from our office on filling out those applications. And then I'll go to, let me leave that up for 1 more second in case anybody needs that. And next I'll go to how to find our VBE and WBE applications as well. There's that splash page. So if you need our contact information, it's there really quick. And I'm going to go over to our actual website. gas.ohio.gov is the URL. If you want to go to divisions, and then equal opportunity, all information is hosted under that equal opportunity page. Move this out the way. There we go. So under quick links here, you'll see how you can apply for MBE and Edge certification. That would take you to that Business Gateway site. As I mentioned, there's a lot of hyperlinks to get you there. But what we're looking for is you want to apply for VBE certification. So if you're looking for the VBE, you want to hit that apply for VBE certification. And as you've seen, it'll begin downloading the Excel form for you. If you want to open that Excel form, it's just a fillable out Excel form. So actually for your general information, for the company information, you want to go through and fill that out. Some of these are actually drop downs. So you'll click on them and drop down and select an answer for that. And some of them are just, you just type in an answer there. And what you want to do is once you complete that application, you want to save that to your desktop, compile the supporting documents to go along with that, and then email that into our office. And that's how you would apply for that VBE certification. There is a submit button down here that allows you to submit it, but I've heard users complain in the past that submit button doesn't always work. So I always tell people just to save it and then email it to us. That's usually the easiest way if that submit button doesn't work for you. And then let's go ahead and find the WBE application. It's the same way. So under that quick links there on the equal opportunity page, apply for WBE certification. I think this one's buried a little bit more. So you should hit that. And it'll load our WBE page and give you some general information about the program, when it was started. And if you scroll down to this WBE eligibility, no, I'm sorry, still on for steps for WBE certification. Right here in this blue hyperlink is an ability to click that, and it should open up the application for you. The WBE application is a fillable PDF. So you'll just go through each page of the PDF and then fill it in, and you do the same thing with this. After it's completed it, you will go through and save this PDF, begin compiling the supporting documents as well, and submit those documents to our office for review. Close that out. A couple more things I wanted to show you on our website. I didn't mean to close that out. Actually, so I'm gonna reload this really quick. Divisions, equal opportunity again. What we want to do now is on this right bar here under these maroon headers, we're gonna go all the way down to publications. So if you click on publications, you'll see under here under our research and reporting unit, there's a couple key tools here you can utilize. The first one we're gonna go through is this agency, MBE officer, and procurement officer list. So this is basically a list or a downloaded Excel sheet. You click and open that. Here we go. And this is here just a list of all the procurement officers, MBE officers, edge officers that are working for each agency. You see agency name here, general agency information. And then you come over and you see the EEO officer, or it gives you their position title here. If they're a chief financial officer, they're MBA edge officer, procurement officer, gives you their name, their title, a contact phone number for that person, their email address as well. And it may even give you the person who's above that person that lists. A lot of these people are listed as the same person because they hold those same job titles as a procurement officer or EEO officer. They'll hold those same titles. So some of these people might be duplicates, but it gives you a point of contact for all the state agencies in the procurement office. So if you see an agency that you want to do business with, if you know agencies spend some money in your business field, you can reach out to these procurement officers for these agencies and begin to build a relationship with them, letting them know what you do, provide them with your capability statements, giving them an elevator pitch as you did earlier in this this training here. And, let them know what you could do and how you could do services better than maybe an agency or a business. So they give you a point of contact for all the agencies. This is a cabinet, you go agency boards and commissions, and colleges and universities as well. So it gives you a point of contact for a lot of people who have their fingers in the money that's moving through their agencies. So it gives you the ability to build relationships with those individuals and reach out to them. The next thing I want to show you is our projection plan analysis. This has been a little altered because of COVID. I know that things have changed in the past year and a half of how the state spends money and where they're spending their money at. But as things get back to normal, I think these things will be a little more helpful when the agencies get back to spending money at the normal rate. So this is an Excel sheet that pops up, and it gives you a lot of different things to sort by here at the bottom. We have all purchase types, open market, MBE sort. So this has things that set aside for MBEs, things that are just open market bids, and it gives you different options to go through and search by. So what we'll do first is just hit like a Control F, and it gives you ability to search the entire Excel sheet. Let's just see, let's do janitorial. So this here that pops up here is DAS, is a DA's put out, and it said for janitorial product supplies. It shows you the amount of money they expect to spend in that field right there. And let's see what other information it includes, like let you know if it's a set aside and if it includes second tier purchases or not. So I mean, if you're already in business, if you're looking to start a business, this can be very helpful to you because it could give you an idea of where agencies spend money and where they plan to spend their money in the future, when they have spent money in the past. So you kind of go through here. So say if you're a janitorial business, you can see what agencies spend money in the janitorial field. You can then go back to that procurement officer list as I just showed you, and then find out who's the procurement officer for that agency. Reach out to that agency, let them know you provide this service, let them know why you're exceptional about what you do, why you may be better than the person that's doing it now, or what you can do differently than that person is doing it now. And like I said, that it's just different ways to build relationships and see where agencies are spending money at and how to contact those agencies as well. Like I said, it has things like I said for the all procurement types. So if you're currently not certified, if you're looking to get certified, but you still want to make some money while you're in the meantime, you can go to the open market bids and see what's in the open market, what's out there for everyone to bid on, and maybe able to find something there for your business. And then so once you are certified, you can go to the MBE sorts and sort by the things that are just set aside for MBE businesses. And that's about it for that. Yep, and then it's another thing I want to show. We want to go to our procurement site. Procure.ohio.gov is a URL for that one. And this is kind of similar to what I wanted to show you. I just showed you. So on the procurement site here, the Ohio Procurement, under the quick links to the right, there's a couple search items I wanted you to look at: the current contract search and the bid opportunity search. So current contract search is going to be current contracts that are currently ongoing at the state level that have already been awarded and people working on those contracts. Again, I'll just do janitorial really quick for the sake of the search and see what pops up. So you can do janitorial. I mean, you can search anything in that field. I'm gonna go back really quick. So you can search by keywords. If you have the actual contract number that you're familiar with, you can put that in. If you're looking for, I believe you can search by just set asides as well. Commodity type, you go through and search for anything like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can search for what the contracts you're looking for. But again, like I said, we just do janitorial for the quick search purpose. And it'll list all the janitorial contracts that are given out at the state level. And if you come over and hit this contract number here, this may take a second to load. It should load up just general information about that contract. And it can kind of give you an idea of, who bid on the contract, price points for the contract, services that are involved in that contract. It kind of gives you a nice overview of what went into that contract and getting that contract. So if you never bid on the contract before, if this is all new to you, kind of gives you a good starting point to look at. So here it is. This one opened up. Let's see, commodity type, janitorial cleaning services, gives you a contract number. It gives you like the original contract, and you can view that original contract that went out and go through. Like I said, it shows you the effective dates of that, when it will end. UNSPSC codes that are involved in that contract. So UNSPSC codes are assigned to all businesses. Once you're certified, you will get a UNSPSC code assigned to your business. And a UNSPSC code will show you basically what the business does and explains in detail what that business does. Janitorial services, floor care services. That's mainly what this one is. Like I said, even I believe it should give you the name of the company that won the contract as well. So you might even reach out to that business and get information from that business on how they won that contract, what they did, the bid, the price points. A lot of contracts are a public information request. So you can make a public information request to get all the information that is required of that contract, the bid and everything that went along with that. And you can make those requests in order to gain information about the contracts as well. I'm gonna go back. So that was the current contract search we did. And there's also the bid opportunity search here. So if you go back to the procurement homepage under quick links, there's a bid opportunity search here. And this is for the contracts that haven't been awarded yet, but they're out for bid. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can do something else. IT. All right, so I did IT and anything that popped up in the IT field. So some of these solicitations aren't put out by the state procurement side, and they'll let you know, not issued by procurement services. So if you go into the ones that are not issued by procurement services, more than likely they're going to take you to another agency's website and where they procure that service out at and looking for the bids there. So we'll try to get on something that is procured through DAS. All right. So yeah, so it gives you market type. So this is most of these are opened here. This is the MBE set aside, MBE. Let's click on this one and get some general information really quick. So again, it gives you the post date, the inquiry period, the opening date, and the estimated date for award. You can give you the commodity types you're looking for the bid. The type of bid is a RFP, the request for proposal. This is a lot of general information there. So I think like that, those two searches, the current contract search and bid opportunity search, it'll give you an idea of what ways the state is spending money. The current contract search shows you what's going on currently in the state, and bid opportunities you may go out there. Even if you're not certified yet, you might be able to go out there and see what MBE set asides are out there, what kind of contracts are out there that are currently out there now that you could begin looking at. So if for the future of your business, once you're certified, that you could begin bidding on certain contracts like that, or see how the bidding process goes in general. And I believe that's about all the information I have to share today. I think I got done a little early. So we could take, I believe we could take questions now if we have time, or if that's allowed.
Yes, thank you so much, Michael. Let's see here. Thank you, Andrea and Richard, for answering the questions in the chat box. I know we had one question. I'm not sure if it was answered or not, but how long does it take to get certified with the state of Ohio?
The standard time we tell people is about 60 to 90 days. With us working from home, it's been odd. I don't think a lot of people expect us to do less work. People when we stop and apply for certifications, but it seems there's been a large uptick in the certification since people have been home. So our certification process has been hindered a little bit, but I'll still say around the 60 to 90 day process for as long as everything goes smooth. You work with your MBACs, get those documents in, so it's not a back and forth of asking for documents again. I'll say around the 60 to 90 day mark is still good for us.
Sounds great, thank you. Do we have any other questions?
Yes,
for
Michael, this is Richard. Question for you. Say you're not in the office anymore and you don't want to use your home address for your application. Would it be okay to use a UPS address?
No, so for the sake of the certification, we do need a home address that goes along with your business. It doesn't have to be a home address, but it has to be a physical location. PO boxes don't work for us. If you send an application over the PO box, at some point in time, that certification, they're going to tell you need to rectify that, and you need to find a physical address. If it's your home, apartment, a shared office space you use, you have to have a physical location for your business in order for us to apply for the certification.
Thank you. And also another question, as far as cross certification, can you speak to that a little bit? If I was getting certified with the city of Cleveland? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let me pull up a slide really quick, just to give everybody a point of emphasis. Short version. I'm gonna share my screen again really quickly. Okay, so cross certification, excuse me, is a way around initially getting that unified application. That unified application it's a long process, a lot of documents that's entailed into that process, and at times it can be time consuming. So sometimes people may need that certification a little faster, and we're able to do that in certain situations. So for currently, the cross certification is only for our MBE program, and here's a list of all the business, or the list of all the entities that can cross certify into the MBE program, and the MBE program can cross certify into those as well. So how the cross certification works, if you hold one of these certifications and you're looking to get the state of Ohio's MBE certification, you will just go into the business gateway site and you will complete a cross certification application instead of doing that unified application we talked about. That cross certification application, it will get processed in a lot quicker time because it's a lot less documents that needed. So you'll do that, send the application over for the cross certification. We'll receive that. We will then reach out to the agency that you're saying you're certified in, and we will request a letter of good standing for your certification in that program. Once they send us back that letter of good standing saying, this business is certified till XYZ date, we will then approve your certification matching that date, and then you will have that MBE certification at the state level. But once that certification does expire, you will then have to apply as a new applicant into our program in order for us to gain that information we missed in that initial application process. We've got that correct certification done.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, but I don't know if I said it. The cross certification, I think on normal times, probably around 7 to 10 days. It's really about the time frame that it takes the agency to respond back for our letter of good standing, but it is a lot quicker to get that done that way.
And Michael, just to clarify, we're cross certifying MBE to MBE only, correct?
So yes,
That's it.
Yeah, yes, sir. We're only stepping cross certification to the MBE program. So it has to be, you have to have like the city of Cleveland's MBE program in order to cross certify into the city of Ohio's MBE program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Great information.
Yes. And one other thing, can you drop the link for the WBE application in the chat? Is that possible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me one moment. I'll do that right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
speaking of cross-certification, everyone, we will have a workshop, Certification Lab Part 2, on July 28th with the City of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County. So if you are interested in everything that we've been talking about so far and getting cross-certified, please consider attending that workshop. And I will put the information in the chat box. Alrighty, do we have any last minute questions for Michael before we move on to our next presenter? All right, perfect. I am going to hand it over to our next presenter, Karen Weibel, and she works at the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, April. How is everybody today?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am good. It's a beautiful day out. I'm getting ready to share my screen. I'm very happy and pleased to be here today.
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, everyone. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
Awesome.
Morning, Karen. Yes.
All right. I'm Karen Weibel. I'm with the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. PTAC is what we're known by. I'm the Cleveland Opportunities Business Specialist here in Cuyahoga County. I cover 4 counties, Cuyahoga, Lorain, Erie, and Huron. Today, I'm going to talk about federal certifications and registrations, and that's the System for Award Management, more affectionately known as SAM. SAM is the system that if you are interested in going after any contracting or grants from the federal government, you are required to be registered in. There is no cost to use SAM. It's a web-based registration system that is, again, required to do business with the federal government. And you have to be registered, fully registered in the system before you can bid on or receive any contracts or go after any grants that are available from the federal government. This is what the SAM website looks like. There's a lot of there are a lot of for-profit businesses that are out there that offer to do your SAM registration for you. You do not have to pay to register in SAM. SAM is free. This is what the legitimate SAM website looks like. I recommend that you type in the SAM URL into your web browser and not use the search engine. If you use a search engine, it's going to bring you a number of for-profit firms that will do it for you. They charge you $600. They will control your SAM registration. Again, it's free. You don't have to pay to use this. And if you need help, PTACs are here to help you through the SAM registration process. And we're going to talk about what that is here in just a sec. There's some steps that you need to do to make your SAM registration process go more smoothly, because they do a lot of cross-checking on your business. So the first thing I recommend for people is to look how your business is registered. Now, most people here in Ohio register their businesses with the state of Ohio. So you're going to want to go to the state of Ohio's business search and just make sure that the information that you've got registered with the state of Ohio for your business is accurate and up to date, especially if you've moved since you started your business. Because I've had some people that, they registered their business years ago and it was at their old address and someone else is living there. So you don't want, anything connected to your business going to somebody else that has nothing to do with your business. And the federal government will be checking on it. If they see something that isn't matching up, then they're going to put a red flag on your registration. So it's really important for you to go in and make sure that information is accurate and up to date. The next step you're going to have to do is you're going to have a DUNS number. Now, this is the Dun & Bradstreet. I recommend going and doing it online. Again, it is free to get a DUNS number. You do not have to pay for any of the services with Dun & Bradstreet. Go to this website and there you click on Begin DUNS Search. I recommend you do a search first before you request a DUNS number, because you may already have one and not even know it. And there is a search on there and you can go in and type your business name and see if you already have a DUNS number. And if you don't know that information, then you'd have to contact Dun & Bradstreet to get access to it. If you do not already have a DUNS number, then you can proceed and apply for one with Dun & Bradstreet. Again, that is free of charge for you to do. I recommend using the web form, and then you don't have to deal with any of the sales folks with Dun & Bradstreet. The information you're going to need If you do not already have a DUNS number, you're going to have your legal business name. You're going to have your name and address. If you have a DBA, you're going to have to put your DBA information. Again, you're going to need a physical address. It can't be a post office box. Your mailing address can be a post office box, but you're going to have a physical address for your business. Your telephone number, contact name, number of employees. They're still using SIC and NAICS codes. We'll talk about that in a second. If you're a home-based business, that's okay. They're just going to ask you about it. So this is the information that you're going to have to input. Again, if you're checking and you see you already have a DUNS number, check that, make sure that information is accurate and up to date. You want to make sure it matches what your business is doing right now. The other thing you're going to have to know are NAICS codes, North American Industry Classification System, in case you ever wanted to know what that stands for. But NAICS codes are something that the federal government uses to identify what type of business you are. And every contract that goes out for bid in the federal government has a NAICS code attached. So you want to make sure you capture every NAICS code that is pertinent to your business when you're getting ready to register in SAM. Because if you don't have the NAICS code in your SAM profile, you may not be able to get the contract award if it's something that you can do. And if you are a wholesaler distributor business, you can use manufacturing NAICS codes, because you got to think about it. If, like, let's say you sold computers, they're looking to buy computers. They're not looking for a computer store. They're looking for computers. So they're going to use those NAICS codes. And as a reseller, you are entitled to use a manufacturer's NAICS code, even if you're not a manufacturer. But again, you're going to want to capture all the NAICS codes that might apply to your business, and so you have them to put into your profile. Next thing you want to check, because the government's going to check in your SAM registration, as your tax filing. They're going to ask you for your tax ID number. So you're going to want to make sure the information that you have registered with the IRS for your business is accurate and up to date. And one of the things I get a lot of is people who have LLCs, and people who have LLCs file differently. Some people have an LLC and file it as a sole proprietorship under their social and don't use a tax EIN. Some people have it, so you got to figure out, if you don't know, work with your accountant, find out how you're filing your taxes, because you're going to have to be accurate. You're going to get your registration might be rejected if you're putting that you're filing your taxes in a different way than you actually are. Make sure your address, everything on there is accurate. And the most recent year that you did successfully file your taxes, because they're going to ask about that. The other thing they're going to ask for is your business checking information. The federal government pays you via electronic invoice. They're going to pay you electronically. So in the SAM system, they're going to ask you for your business checking information. They're going to ask you for your routing number and your account number. In addition, they're going to ask for a phone number for your bank. This is not your phone number. It's the phone number for your bank. They want it in case there is a problem in your electronic payment. So if there is some kind of glitch in the system, they want to be able to contact the bank to find out what the glitch is. Then all else fails, they will mail you a paper check, but they really like to pay you electronically. So you want to put that phone number for your business banker where you have your account. Other items that you're going to need for your SAM registration. You're going to need access to a computer, because it's an online application. While you're doing your application, you're going to have access to your email, because they're going to do some cross-checking email verifications during the process. Other things you're going to do, it's a two-factor authentication, trying to protect your data. Some other things that you're going to need, and it's a choice of these, either a phone, it could be a landline phone or a cell phone to get a text message, or you can have an authentication app, and more about that in a little bit, that you can have attached to your computer, or a security key, and I'll go over that in a little bit as well, but it's a kind of a physical device, kind of looks like a USB flash drive that authenticates that it's you and not a scam artist trying to steal your data. So here are some of the authentication apps that are acceptable with the SAM system. I've used a couple of these. I've used Google Authenticator and LastPass, but these are the different, depending what type of web browser and what type of, all of these will work, are accepted within the SAM registration system. Google Authenticator and LastPass I know are free to use. So, I mean, but it's up to you. You don't have to use these. There are other options as well. But if you wanted to use an authentication app, make sure it's one of these and not one that won't be accepted. A security key, again, it looks like a USB flash drive. It's going to cost you money to have. It's the most secure way to protect your data when you're using all these websites. But you would have to pay for it. The one thing you got to do when you're looking for a security key is make sure it's got the correct compatibility standards. And the standard is called FIDO2. So when you're buying one, just make sure it has that standard in place. Otherwise, it won't work. Again, so we're going back to that website. You've got all that stuff ready to go. You're going to go to the website and you're going to hit Get Started. When you get started, it's going to divert you to login.gov. And you're going to see this a lot, not just in SAM, but other application systems and certification systems having to do with the federal government. It's going to send you to this. You're going to have to create a login account. You're going to utilize your email address, and then you're going to have to create a strong password. And it'll tell you how long, if your password is acceptable. It will not let you use a password until it gets to the good status, and you'll see a little bar telling you that. We recommend using a combination of letters, numbers, characters. Try to keep it safe and secure because you don't want them hacking into your data, the bad actors for sure. So you get this, you hit log and create the account. You're going to get an email verifying that you did this. So then you're going to get a link saying to confirm your email address. You will hit open up the email, hit confirm your email address, and it'll bring you back to the system. There's that password again, 12 characters in length. Make it really long, strong, and it'll tell you how good it is. Then it's going to ask you to choose a two-factor stuff that I was telling you about. So the first one is that text message or a phone call. That's just you having access to your cell phone or a landline for you to get that information. That authentication app, that's that list that I had shown you for the different web browsers. And then the security key is that item that you have to pay for that has to be the FIDO2 standards. And the last two, government employees, that's not going to apply to you. And I don't even know if they're the backup codes, don't use them. I had a client that used those and he lost them, and it's a real pain in the tuchus to have to get. We're having to start from scratch on his SAM. So that's not a lot of fun. So here you go. You're going to get into the SAM. You're going to do that. And you're going to start your registration. They're going to ask you if you are a business or a government, you're going to say that you are a business or organization. Then they are going to ask you, do you want to bid on federal contracts and grants or just grants? We recommend the first one, contracts and grants. Here's where you're going to have to put the DUNS information, your Dun & Bradstreet information. You're going to put your DUNS number that you received from Dun & Bradstreet. And here's where I was saying you've got to make sure what you have registered in Dun & Bradstreet is accurate. You've got to make sure it matches. If it doesn't match what Dun & Bradstreet has, you're not going to get any further. It's going to keep blocking you. So that's why it's really good to look into your Dun & Bradstreet information before you get started. You're going to submit this. They're going to cross-check your information to make sure it matches, and then you get to go to the next steps. Then you're going to be talking about your IRS validation. Again, why it's important to talk to your bookkeeper or accountant or check with the IRS. You're going to put your information on your business. You're going to talk about your physical address. You're going to put your taxpayer name, all this fun stuff. You're going to have to create what is called an MPIN at this step. An MPIN acts as your electronic signature. You create it. It's 9 characters long, letters and numbers only. It is vitally important that once you create your MPIN, that you write it down. Not only are you going to need it on the very next screen in your SAM registration, you're going to need it every time you log into SAM. You're going to need it if you're going to apply for any of the federal certifications like 8A, woman-owned, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the MPIN is your electronic signature with anything that you're having to do with the federal government. Write it down. Don't share it with anybody. Keep it safe and secure, and keep it where you know where it is. So here's all the information, again, what the screens look like when you're going to be putting in your tax information, how you file. There's the tax ID type. Is it Social Security or a tax EIN? Making sure your address matches on how you file with the IRS. What's the most recent year you filed your taxes? This is what the screens look like, and you're going to have to input that information. Then you're going to type in the MPIN you input on the screen before that allows the system to cross-check with the IRS to make sure everything you put in there is valid and accurate. Again, if it doesn't match, you won't get any further, and you're going to have to go in and correct whatever errors they find. Here's what the screen looks like for your banking information. Again, electronic funds transfer, and you'll see there your routing number, your account number, that ACH US phone, that is mandatory. That's that phone number for your bank, the business bank. Who should they call if there's a problem with your electronic deposit? And then the remittance address is if they can't get that electronic deposit worked out, where should they mail a check? And it's not to your bank, it's to you. So you're going to want to put your address on there, not your bank's. I've seen that happen. Here's what the screen looks like for those NAICS codes that you researched. So there's a screen that says search for NAICS codes. You're going to put each NAICS code in there. Then you're going to hit the search button. It'll appear in that box below. Then you're going to add, and it appears in the bottom box. And you're going to do that for each NAICS code that you found that applies to your business. Then you're going to have to go in and pick one of your NAICS codes as your primary NAICS code for your business. This is important in creating size standards, and I'll show you that on this next screen. Size standards. The SAM registration system is what determines whether or not you're a small business, and they base it on those NAICS codes that you've researched. They're going to then ask you what your total receipts were on average for over the last 3 years, and the average 3 to 5 years right now. Next year, it's going to be changing to your average receipts over the last 5 years. And then they're asking also for the average number of employees. Based on the answers to those questions and the NAICS codes that you input into the system is what determines whether or not you are certified as a small business for federal government contracting. And here's what the screen will look like. If you'll see, they put in their NAICS codes. The size standard for gravel mining is 500 employees. Some of the NAICS codes, it's based on sales. So you might have different size standards for each of your NAICS codes. You might be a small business for some of your NAICS codes and not for others, because I've seen that happen. But this screen will tell you on whether or not the federal government has determined, yes, we are certifying that based on the answers to these questions, you are a small business. And that is all you're going to need to do. Now, there's a screen right below that NAICS code tablet. You can see it's talking about small disadvantaged business. A small disadvantaged business is someone that would qualify for the 8A program, which is a set-aside program for minority and economically disadvantaged businesses. So if you would qualify for an 8A, like if you were a minority-owned business and you would qualify for 8A, but you aren't 8A certified yet, you can do that drop down and say yes. The only thing I'm telling you, though, is there aren't any set-asides for small disadvantaged businesses. You have to go through a formal certification program, but you can still mark that. I still don't understand why it's in there. But anyway, it's there and you can mark that. The other thing you're going to have to do is they're going to have a lot of point of contact information in there. These are the lists of the ones that you can put in. It gives you the list of which ones are mandatory and which are optional. Accounts receivable is who's your accounting person, who's taking care of the billing and all that kind of fun stuff. That electronic payment that you want to get paid. Electronic business point of contact. That's really important for a lot of government communication. So you want to make sure it's someone who stays on top of things. Same for the government business point of contact. You want to make sure that's someone who's really involved in, is going to be involved in the government contracting angle of things. If you're a single person business, that's all going to be you. But if you have multiple employees, just make sure you've got somebody on there that's really going to be paying attention, because if the government speaks and communicates with you, you better answer pretty quickly. Let's say they determine that you are a small business through that chart. You are through your SAM registration. There's a link for you to, it's called the SBA profile. If you're a small business, it's a database that you get to put additional information about your small business, free marketing information. A lot of for-profit companies are going to call you saying you got to upload your capability statement. This is what they're talking about. It's within your SAM registration. You're not really uploading anything, but you are just, it gives you a space to put in keywords that people can utilize this searchable database for small businesses who do certain things. You know, you can search by NAICS codes, but you also want to put in the keywords, like let's say you do landscaping, then you're going to want to put landscaping, mowing, snow removal, all sorts of things that might pertain to your business as keywords in the search. They're going to let you talk about your capabilities and have a box where you can talk about everything that your business can do. Any special equipment that your business might have, what kind of bonding that you may already have in place, if bonding is required for your business. It gives you a space for you to list past contracts so they know that you're a good business who's successfully performed, all those things. And it gets into this database that a lot of big businesses use, other small businesses use when they're looking for teaming partners, subcontractors. Also, federal buying officers will use this to, if they're looking for small businesses that might be able to do the work, and they use it for market research on who does what they need. It's a really good free marketing opportunity for you to make sure you're listed in that system. And again, it's through your SAM registration. So what happens after you submit it? Again, they're going after that TIN match. That's they're double checking with the IRS. It can take up to 3 to 5 days for them to cross-check with the IRS on whether or not the information you put in about your business match what the IRS has about your business. If it does not match, you will get an email from them saying it didn't match, and then giving you a chance to go in and correct any errors that you made on the information that you input into the SAM registration system. If you pass the IRS, it then goes on to DLA, the Department of Defense, where they do a deep dive digging on your business. It can take 10 days or longer, and I'm telling you lately it has been. They're going to be, again, there's that government business point of contact. If they find a problem and they, you know, they're going to cross-check your registration with the state. They're going to cross-check your address that you posted to make sure you're really there and not somebody else. So here's a point. If you're using one of those shared business office spaces, that always sends up a red flag. So what they might ask is for a copy of your lease. They're going to probably ask for additional information if you're in a shared office space type of situation. Again, the email is going to come from @dla.mil. I'm going to give you a point of warning on this too. A lot of for-profit companies also will reach out to you. If it's not coming up from a .gov or a .dla.mil, it's not the government, so buyer beware. Just watch out. If they want money, it's not legit. They can steal your information. You really got to be careful. If they have any problems, usually they give you about 3 days to respond. So again, that's why that government business point of contact person is really important, is checking their email, because there's not a lot of time to respond to problems that they have. If you don't respond in time, they will reject your application. You get to start all over again. If they accept it, they will assign what is called a cage code. Cage code is what identifies your business as someone able to bid on and receive federal contracts. It's vitally important for federal buyers to know that you have that cage code, because then they know you're ready to do business with them. Once you get that cage code and you're certified as a small business, you are able to compete for small business set-asides. 23% of all federal contracts are set aside for small business. That means only small businesses can compete for those contract awards. The other nice thing about being a small business in the federal space is the large contractors, large firms, and this means for construction firms, if they've gotten a contract valued at over $1.5 million, they have to award part of their work to a small business. If they have any other type of contract, that dollar threshold is $750,000. So if someone's got a contract over $750,000, they're supposed to have a small business that they're going to be working with, that they're going to give part of that contract to. So of the 23%, there are subsets of the small business set-asides. One is the woman-owned and the economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business. That's a 5% set-aside goal. And these, again, are subsets of the 23%, not in addition to. These are the subsets. Now, woman-owned small business is a little different. Those set-asides are only for certain NAICS codes. So you're gonna, if you want to go after that, you have to make sure the NAICS code is valid, that there are set-asides for your business. You can be a brand new business to apply for the woman-owned and economically disadvantaged women-owned small business. You don't have to be in business any length of time to apply for that set-aside. And that is now a formal certification process, again, online. It used to be self-certification. Now it's a formal process. HubZone is a 3% set-aside. HubZone is if your business is located in an area of high unemployment and low income. There's a map on the SBA website where you can type in your address. And if your primary place of business is located in a HubZone and 35% of your employees live in a HubZone, you can apply for HubZone status. And again, there's no length of time that your business, you have to be in business. You can apply for that right away. The bonus, other than the 3% set aside goal, is it gives you a 10% price differential against large businesses. Now, it won't help you compete against other small businesses, but let's say you're going after, you're trying to beat Microsoft, it would give you a 10% price differential against their bid. 8A is a 5% set aside goal. That is that minority and economically disadvantaged businesses. That's a little bit different from the other programs. You have to be in business at least 2 to 3 years and show a track record of growth, showing that you're a stable company with the ability to grow. And then you can apply again for the 8A program. It's a 9-year program. That's the other difference on this one. The other ones, you are in the program for as long as you qualify. You can still qualify for 8A, but once your 9 years are up, you're an 8A graduate and you cannot go back into the program. Service disabled veteran-owned small business is a 3% set-aside goal across all agencies. This one is a self-certification for most agencies. There are questions they ask you in your SAM registration. One is if you're a service disabled veteran-owned small business, you click yes, and that's all typically they need. They might ask you for your DD 214 if you are service disabled, but 3% goal. Veteran-owned small businesses, there's only a subcontracting goal for most federal agencies, except for the VA. VA is the only agency that has direct set-aside goals for veterans. They like to give contracts to veterans, service disabled and veteran. And the VA has their own certification process. Also, if you want to get the vet verification from the VA, there's a formal online application, just like all the others that the VA has to offer. That's the end. I think I've ended a little bit more quickly too, but this is me. I'll tell you a little bit more about PTAC if you're not aware. We're kind of a sister agency to MBEC. We like to work with MBEC because we offer complementary services and work together to help our businesses grow. PTAC assists businesses who are interested in government contracting. And that's at all levels of government, federal, state, and local. We help you with all the registrations and certifications. We have a free daily bid matching service where we utilize NAICS codes and keywords and all sorts of codes the government agencies use. And then we scour the internet every day, Monday through Friday, with opportunities that match that are available for you to bid on. Instead of you going, we search almost 4,000 websites every day. We can search nationwide, all levels of government. We help you look at those look up those opportunities, help you understand the government legalese that's written in them, help you understand and make sure you've got all the registrations, certifications necessary to bid on it. We'll even review your proposals before you submit it. We can't tell you how good it is. We can just make sure you've included all your forms, kind of like MBAC does with your certifications for MBE. So we will do that for you. We help you with the federal certifications, anything to do with government contracting, we try to help. You have to register as a client, but like I say, all of it is free because we are grant funded from the Department of Defense, Defense Logistics Agency, the state of Ohio, and my office by Ohio University to do that for you at no charge. And that is it for my presentation. And are there any questions?
Thank you so much, Karen. Do we have any questions?
I guess not. Karen was very thorough.
Yes. So Karen, you mentioned about the daily bid notifications. What about with capability statements and things like that?
Well, we help with capability statements too. I have some templates and examples, and I have a red pen. Yeah, we can give you helpful hints just like Richard and Andrea can, and we work together a lot.
We do. And I'm so glad you went through everything that PTAC provides in the services, because there's a lot of people on the call that do not know, they may not know that you provide all of that, which is fantastic. If you guys need help, please reach out to Karen.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know there was someone in Columbus. I'm the Cleveland PTAC person. There's a PTAC person in Columbus too. There are PTACs across the state, across the country. I just happen to be the one up here, lucky enough to work with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, and I'm your Cleveland PTAC person. And it's a blessing for me to work with them.
Aww.
And us as well, Karen, to work with you.
Absolutely.
Karen, where would be a good spot to go to if someone wanted to find out more about the PTAC in Columbus?
If they email me, I will send them the person to email. I will connect them with their PTAC specialist.
Perfect.
And I think they'll get my contact information in the slide presentation. So I have no problem directing you to the correct person to work with in your backyard.
And Karen, can you share with us a recent success story for one of your clients who just won a bid or a contract, something just happened recently?
Yeah, I have somebody that does a lot of work locally, but I just did a success story, and this is he's been in business a year, and he decided he actually got the first bid he bid on. It was the first one that he did, and I helped him. It was a small project. He replaced some water heaters at a museum down in Dayton. The National Park Service operates all the National Historic Sites across the country. So he got a contract with the National Park Service to replace all the water heaters in the museum. And it was the first time he bid on it, and he got it. So I helped him with the solicitation. We read through it together. I helped review his response documents, and he was lucky enough to get his first contract after only about a year and a half of being in business. Not typical, sometimes, new businesses have a tougher road because they like to see that track record of success. But if you have something highly specialized, which he did as an employee, he had a lot of work. He put together a good bid proposal, and he went down there and replaced it. And then they asked him about doing some additional work. So we're seeing if he's got some more work to do.
That's great. Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you for having me, and feel free to reach. And thank you again, everybody. I wish you the best of luck in your businesses, and reach out if PTAC can help you grow. Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, that concludes our workshop for today. Once again, I am going to send an email with all of the contact information for all of the presenters for today, as well as instructions on how to view the recording, as well as the PowerPoint presentations for today as well, and a way for you to contact us to make an appointment with a business advisor. Do I have any last words from the rest of my team?
I'll let you go first, Andrea.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. Yeah, this was a lot of information, so I hope everyone got exactly what they needed out of this workshop. A lot of information. If you need any help in any way, if you need professional or technical assistance, if you need assistance with bidding or contract opportunities, getting certifications, please reach out to us and we could help. Definitely, Richard and I, we can help you with that as well as April.
Yes, and I would just like to follow that up with what Andrea said. We're here for you to support you. I know there's people on the line who want to get certified. We can assist you with whatever certification is, you know, with the state of Ohio, with the county, with the sewer district. I mean, there's so many different certifications available, and we can work with you to find out which ones are best and appropriate for your business. So we look forward to the opportunity to work with you regarding certifications, growing and scaling your business. We have access to capital. And as Andrea said, with the technical assistance, business plans. We find a lot of our businesses do not have business plans. And I know my one client, Rose, is she's working on her business plan. And that's so important. That's such an important piece for your business. If you're going to be in business, you need to have a business plan because that is your roadmap. You don't know where you're going if you don't have a business plan. You're just kind of you're taking a journey. You don't really have a destination planned out. So you need to invest in a business plan, and we can help you with that as well. So that's what we're here for. We're the Minority Business Assistance Center. So we're here to assist you with your business growth, help you to grow and scale your business, create jobs, sustain those jobs, everything that Andrea said earlier. So that's what we're here for. And we like to have, we have our own little saying, hashtag MBAC has your back or something like that. So we have your back. So we're here to support you. So reach out to us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Well, as well. Thank you.
Yes, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you.